It would be nice to see Joe Biden come out. There's times I worry about his health for the number of days that he puts a lid on it before 10 a.m., talking to the American public and denying us the ability to know what he believes in or wants to say when he wants to be the leader of the free world. But you have the former nominee tell him, never concede.
I'm referring to the president being asked if there would be a peaceful transfer of power, and he did not say yes.
Yeah,
so I'm asking you, will there be a peaceful transfer of power if he loses this?
I believe that question asked by the Playboy Power. In fact, I think I have it right here. He was asked win, lose, or draw whether he would accept the transfer of power. I'm not entirely sure if he won why he would accept a transfer of power. That is maybe the deranged wish of that reporter, but that's not how governing works.
Very direct and very simple question. If the president loses this election, will this White House, will this president assure us that there will be a peaceful transfer of power? It's a very simple question.
The president will accept the results of a free and fair election. But I think that your question is more fitting to be asked of Democrats who have already been on the record saying they won't accept the results of an election. In fact, I have several of them here for you. South Carolina Democrat Jim Clyburn has said that Trump is not going to win fairly. Senator Barbara Boxer has said that the only way Trump will win is to steal it. That's according to Democrat Senator Barbara Boxer. The Washington Post has noted, they have a headline, Democrats may not trust the results of the election if Trump wins. And then you have that beautiful quote from Hillary Clinton that Joe Biden should not concede under any circumstance. So I think your fitting is a fitting question for Democrats. Yes.
Kayleigh, just to understand this clearly, are the results legitimate only if the president wins?
The president will accept the results of a free and fair election. He will accept the will of the American people.
So for clarity, if he loses and it's free and fair, he will accept?
I've answered your question. He will accept the results of a free and fair election.
Welcome, fellow digital soldiers, to True Reporting. It is the 24th of September, and on today's podcast, as you can see from the intro video, guys, they are foreshadowing what they are going to try and pull against the president. I will have a synopsis on that at the end of the podcast, but you can see what they're trying to do. They're building up to try and say that the president will not concede when he will actually have won the election. They will say that he would have cheated and or have lost the election and then will appear to become a dictator, and that's what they will push, guys. And I will break all of that down at the end of the podcast, so I really hope you stick around for that. Again, guys, bombs dropping today on the boards from 17. Durham assumed parts of John Huber's Clinton Foundation review source. The Attorney General Jeff Sessions, remember, always trust Sessions, directed Huber in 2017 to look at the Clinton Foundation, guys. We're going to break that down. We're going to break down some 17 posts. Also, again, with the mail-in ballotings, FBI finds mail-in ballots discarded in Pennsylvania. Remember, the president was just there. All of them were casted for President Trump. These people are sick. They will cheat to win. They are in the death throes. These are their final breaths, I can promise you that. And rounding off the podcast, guys, we already know about this and what Antifa is, what Black Lives Matter is. Now we can see this with the left. They are complete occultists, I can promise you that. The death of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg pushed me to join the Satanic Temple. No. No one pushed you to do this. You decided to do this on your own. Many of these people are doing this within these movements, within these organized riots. What does this all mean, guys? Who's funding it? What is actually taking place? And I think you understand where I'm going with that. Guys, we have a lot to get to, so I really hope that you are ready for a great podcast. Remember, it is always an honor for me to be on the front lines with each and every one of you, day in and day out, because in the end, where we go one, we go all. Hey guys, hope you're doing good. Let me tell you about my sponsor, Noble Gold. You know, life has never looked so uncertain as it does right now. Across the U.S., people are being paralyzed into indecision. So many people. humming and hawing about everything, feeling flustered with all of these shutdowns, avoiding that issue, the money one. But bleak as it might look, there may be a silver or even gold lining. If you've worked for years before CV, you could have a 401k sitting around gathering dust, or even an old IRA that we could help with. Working for your old company when it could be working for you. We're not talking peanuts either. Some plans have thousands of dollars in them. All your 401k plans. Look into this, please. To find out more about unlocking your own hidden treasure, call the team at Noble Gold at 877-646-5347. And if that's not an incentive enough, Noble Gold is giving away the U.S. Mint's own solid silver 5-ounce $1 Apollo 11 moon landing coin when you sign up today for a gold or silver IRA. I have one. It's so worth it right now to jump on the phone and deal with this by calling 877-646-5347 now. Please, guys, jump on this opportunity. They will help you out. It's a great company and they support True Reporting, and you get an awesome coin in the meantime, my friends. So again, thank you for choosing Noble Gold, and I hope you enjoy the podcast. All right, guys, it's good to have you aboard. Before we get into today's show, would you please go ahead and subscribe to my backup channel, True Reporting 2.0. We're approaching 20,000 subscribers. Please go ahead and follow me on Twitter, as well as following me on Parler at True Reporting 1985. And guys, always remember to leave a like. The more likes that this video receives, the more times it is recommended to other viewers on YouTube, thus more eyes on the truth. And with that being said, my friends, let's go ahead and hop into today's podcast. This is True Reporting. So guys, massive news coming at us from Fox News, as we can see here. Durham assumed parts of Hoover's Clinton Foundation review source. Then Attorney General Jeff Sessions directed Hoover in 2017 to look at the Clinton Foundation. Remember, always trust Sessions, right? Trust Sessions. And guys, all of this is going to lead to indictments. Then it will lead to a grand jury. That is the process. And think of how many people are going to go down. Guys, again, this is just the beginning. I don't think we're even at the storm yet, but it's all coming to a precipice. I can tell you that much. I'm talking the Durham report. I'm talking Anthony Weiner's laptop. I'm talking Haiti. I'm talking flight logs, what's taking place on that island. We still have Ghislaine Maxwell in prison. A lot is going to happen. I think it's all going to drop at the same time. Let's just hope for that. So, from Fox News, and speaking on U.S. Attorney John Hoover, his investigation into the Clinton Foundation has been assumed by Attorney John Durham, the U.S. Attorney, as part of his review into the origins of the Russia probe, which we all know is fake. So, we always thought that this was just going to be about Spygate. No, even though that's massive and will bring down the Obama administration. But this is also going after the Clinton Foundation. We are watching a movie. It is set up that way. It is a domino effect, and it will lead to the top. A source familiar with Durham's investigation told Fox News on Thursday, today, that parts of what Hoover was investigating in 2017 involving the Clinton Foundation have been incorporated in Durham's investigation. This is just a little like a little leak to us, a little hat tip to us, if you will, just to say, listen, you think they're going to get away with this? Absolutely not, Anons. In November of 2017, then Attorney General Jeff Sessions directed Hoover, the U.S. Attorney from Utah, and other senior prosecutors to evaluate certain issues involving the sale of Uranium-1, massive, and other dealings related to the Clinton Foundation. Sessions tapped Hoover after request by congressional Republicans who had been calling for the appointment of a special counsel to review the matters. Hoover was also tasked with reviewing the FBI's handling of the Clinton email probe, including allegations that the Justice Department and FBI, in quote, policies or procedures were not followed. And guys, this is going to lead to so much other stuff. I can promise you that. Think Haiti, think pedo stuff. It's all there. It's all been swept under the rug. Again, guys, this has to be taken out. The enemy has to fully be taken out so this never happens to America again. And that is exactly what this team is doing. That is exactly what the Trump administration has already done. We are just watching it play out. The movie from behind the scenes has already taken place. Now the audience is witnessing it in real time. The New York Times on Thursday, can't trust them, that's Mockingbird Media, on Thursday reported that Durham has focused attention on the Clintons and said that Durham has sought documents and interviews about how federal law enforcement officials handled an investigation into allegations of political corruption at the Clinton Foundation. Wow, that's going to be a big nail in the coffin, guys. The DOJ investigates the investigators. Remember, the hunted become the hunter. Durham was appointed by Attorney General Barr last year to investigate the origins of the FBI Russia probe, shortly after Mueller's completed his year-long investigation into whether the campaign colluded with the Russians to influence the 2016 presidential election. Turned out, nothing there. Durham's timeline has been focused on July 2016, when the FBI's original probe began, through the appointment of Mueller in May of 2017. Durham's investigation has been slowed by the CV pandemic. That doesn't seem too coincidental now, does it? But that has not blunted the level of anticipation from President Trump. He knows it's going to be a mother of all bombs. I can tell you that. His Republican allies on Capitol Hill and his supporters, some of whom have called for the findings to be released before November's presidential election. Earlier this month, Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Lindsey Graham from South Carolina, my state, hinted that developments in Durham's investigation were on the horizon. This was after newly released Justice Department records showed numerous phones belonging to members of former special counsel Robert Mueller's team were wiped of information because of forgotten passcodes. Yeah, right, bullcrap. Irreparable screen damage, yeah, sure, loss of the device, intentional deletion, or other reasons. I'd say intentional deletion. All before the Justice Department Inspector General's office could review the devices. Think about that, right? That's got to be a crime. You think you were mad about the phones being wiped? Graham said on Fox News. He added, we'll talk in about 10 or 12 days and we'll see if there's something else you'll get mad about. The investigation has produced one criminal charge so far against former FBI lawyer Kevin Kleinsmith, who was accused of altering an email related to the surveillance of a former Trump campaign aide. This guy was charged. He's going to be put in prison. Think about what wiping evidence is, disposing of evidence before the Justice Department could actually review their devices. That's criminal in itself. All these people are going to prison. And I'm going to be laughing the entire time. It is not clear if Durham will be able to conclude his work before the election, though Barr has not ruled out the possibility of additional criminal charges. More and more, right? Barr, during an interview with NBC News last week, said that there could be, in quote, more charges stemming from Durham's review. Guys, think about it. What did 17 drop yesterday? Crimes against humanity, crimes against children. These are the crimes, the criminalities that we will be seeing within all of this, I promise you. Yes, there could be, Barr said, while declining to say whether any such charges would be announced prior to Election Day. I bet there will be. In July, though, Fox News reported that Durham could wait to reveal his findings or initiate further prosecutions until after the 2020 presidential election. Well, I pray to God that that does not happen. I want it all before. I want full disclosure. I'm sure we won't get that, but I want this dropped before the 2020 election. And I believe the movie pans out that way. Two sources familiar with Durham's investigation told Fox News at the time that Durham was working expeditiously to try to finish the probe before Labor Day, which he did not because of CV. He believes it's critical to do them. One source said at the time, he is feeling more pressure to get this done and wrapped up. I'm telling you, he's getting word from the president. He goes on to say to finish, the source has also told Fox News that Durham, in quote, does not want this to be viewed a political. And the closer it gets to November, Durham could punt it to after the election. I do not see that happening. Guys, moving forward, I want to show you this. Think of the connection, how close this is. This is from 8kun today. This is just what I read, but look at the synchronicities and look at how precise 17 has been, going back almost 4 years. Jeff Sessions directed Hoover in 2017 to look at the Clinton Foundation. November 2017, Jeff Sessions, Uranium One, Clinton Foundation. What else started in the very beginning of November? How about the dissemination of information onto us from a military team known as you-know-who, 17? So, how about that, they say? Future proves past. If you are not believing in this movement as of yet, guys, I don't know if there's any hope for you. I hope in the end you figure it out. Just don't be naive about it. All of this is very real. All of this is going to come to fruition, and America will be forever changed as we move into the golden age. It is going to be incredible for us, for our children, for our grandchildren. This will be the golden age for all of humanity. I can promise you that. Now, check this out. Just before, think the 17 Durham start date. They started on the same date. Coincidence? Having fun yet? 17. I'm just breaking it down for you guys. We are watching a movie in real time. Now, moving from past 17 posts to present day 17 posts. The amount of FBI chains of command for the mid-year investigated. Fired, removed, fired, tracked, right? This is what's going on, guys. The 7th floor is being decimated. Tracking events. Scope exceeds illegal spy campaign. Why? The 7th floor in the kill box. FBI team removed and terminated. 7th floor is no more? Absolutely. Is this normal? Absolutely not, because they've been in control the entire time. Now they have been fired and removed, thus being replaced by, I'm sure, patriots. What other investigations within the same team touch alter outcome? How are other investigations bridged to illegal spying campaign? Bigger than you can imagine. Think the FBI. Think the Obama administration. Think the Clinton Foundation. Think Lisa Page, Peter Strzok, Pelosi, Schumer, Nadler, Adam Schiff, James Comey. All of these people will be thrown in prison because we have to rebuild each and every one of these 3-letter agencies from the foundation up. This is the only way it will work ever again. Moving on to post 4756, Red October upcoming. This is from today. Make your depth 50 feet with zero bubble. That seems like they're talking about a submarine. This means that they're going to be coming in. They're going to be cloaking it and coming in with a left-hand hook, blindsiding the deep state. I'm sure that's the way it's going to be. And it is the only way we can see here from 4757. Let the truth be told. Political spying, illegal, less than 1%. Had faith in humanity. Let the truth be told. It is the only way. And the final post from today, post 4758. The hunters become the hunted. Below the depths of the DC swamp, the hunt is on. In the invisible war for the future of our republic, the tables have now turned. And now the hunters become the hunted, guys. I think the storm is approaching at a very high speed, and we will see some very crazy things take place. So I'm telling you guys, please be ready for this. It is going to turn upside down. Our world will turn upside down. It will seem as though America is burning, it is dying, but that is the timeline that we are on. Guys, if it is not absolutely apparent that a shift is happening, then no one will realize the shift. They will not recognize the shift. They have got to know that the president, that the military, that the white hats have saved America through all of these investigations, through all of the evidence coming forward. This is how it has got to happen. America has got to appear as if it is on its last leg, and thus it is being saved. Guys, I'm telling you, please be safe out there as we come into these next 3 to 4 weeks. It is going to get very, very dangerous. I can promise you that. And especially the week of the election. I think that is when it is going to get worse. I think that's when it will become very violent. And if you live in a blue city or state, I think it would be time to maybe go on a short-lived vacation, maybe a week or two, just to protect your families. Switching gears for a moment, I wanted to touch base with you on this. This dropped this morning from the Huffington Post. The death of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg pushed me to join the Satanic Temple. Now, we've talked on this show a couple times about seeing people within Black Lives Matter, Antifa walking around with satanic shirts on. They're talking about resurrecting spirits. These are leaders of the Black Lives Matter and of Antifa. Guys, they're also doing occultist rituals within these riots. They're bringing out evil. This is a spiritual war, a spiritual battle. We've talked about that numerous times as well. Now we're seeing this. The push of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg pushed me to join the Satanic Temple. I'm a 40-something-year-old attorney and mother who lives in a quiet neighborhood with a yard and a garage full of scooters and soccer balls. I am not the type of person who would normally consider becoming a Satanist, but these are not normal times. Who reads the HuffPost? Liberals read the HuffPost. You will not see one conservative ever say this, even if they didn't know anything about this movement, even if they were on the fence about voting for the president. Look at how dark the left has become. They have been infiltrated by an evil group of very wealthy elite Democrats who are in fact also occultists, who are in fact also Satanists. So you can see how it runs down the ladder. As we can see here, check this picture out. I'm sure you're all familiar with that. I am a 40-something attorney who lives in just a regular neighborhood with a garage full of scooters and soccer balls. Guys, and now she's considering becoming a Satanist. Like so many other women in the United States, why is it women all the time? When I learned of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg passing, my first reaction was not grief, but fear. Hey, lady, I hate to break it to you, but Ginsburg's been dead for probably 2 years. I fear that American citizens are inching closer to living in a theocracy or dictatorship. There's that word. There's that word. You see how they're going to push it, and this will fall right into what I'm about to end this podcast with. And that the fact checks meant to prevent this from happening are close to eroding beyond repair. When Justice Ginsburg died, I knew immediately that action was needed on a scale we have not seen before. Our democracy has become so fragile that the loss of one of the last guardians of the common sense and decency in this government less than 2 months before a pivotal election has put our civil and reproductive rights in danger like never before. And so I have turned to Satanism. I can't even believe I'm reading this right now. This is insane. Is this insane? Members of the Satanic Temple do not believe in the supernatural or superstition. In the same way that some Unitarians and some Jews do not believe in God, the Satanic Temple members do not worship Satan, and most are atheists. That means that you do worship Satan because you do not believe in a God. So what are you doing there? You're worshiping Satan. There's nothing else there to worship. They're not affiliated in any way with the Church of Satan. Instead, the Satanic Temple uses the devil as a symbol of rebellion. Yeah. Listen, guys, I want to go back to this little statement right here. I fear that American citizens are inching closer to living in a theocracy or a dictatorship. Now, guys, I will break this down for you, and I hope that you save this for future reference. I could be wrong, but I really feel like I have a very tight intuitional feeling about this, that this is exactly, in one way or another, this is exactly how it will go down. Before the election, the Durham report will drop, causing the deep state to panic even more, right before the election. Because of the Clinton Foundation and, of course, Spygate. Also, ties to the Anthony Weiner laptop, exposure as well. And more ties to Epstein and the satanic monsters that are running this world. Consistent riots and burning of stores. People being hurt and killed will persist in organized places, Democrat cities and states. Now, election week arrives. Brace yourselves. Once election night happens, they're going to say Trump lost. Now, this is where it breaks down. Trump will know he won. We will know that he won, and the military and the White Hats will also know that he has won. Even with the Dems trying to rig it, he will win. Then all news outlets, plus Pelosi, Schumer, Nadler, Biden, the Clintons, Obama, will say he lost or cheated. Trump will not concede because he knows it's all lies. The MSM and the deep state leaders, with their final breath of air, will begin to call him a dictator and call for the American people to now overthrow and possibly try to assassinate him. Very violent riots will take place, endangering the president and his family. The president will send in the military with the Insurrection Act at this point. It will appear to many people that America is sadly dying within the rubble of burned cars, buildings, riots, and shootings. The violence will appear much more worse than what we have seen previously. This is when, and will undoubtedly feel like all is lost. This is also when, and only when, we will receive the message from the emergency broadcasting system on our phones and televisions. My fellow Americans, the storm is upon us. Now, my friends, I know that might seem elaborate, but I really believe that is exactly how all of this breaks down. It is going to get much worse before it gets better because we have to recognize the shift. This is the old guard stepping down, the new guard stepping in, of patriots, of people who believe in God, who believe in the rights of all Americans, and then, and only then, will the power be returned to the American people. My friends, if you found this informative and you enjoyed it, please subscribe to this channel. You can follow me on Twitter at TRUreporting. You can follow me on Parler at TRUreporting1985. And guys, you can become a Patreon member today by signing up in the link below. Guys, remember to end with always leaving a like on this video. I would greatly appreciate it. And always know that it is always an honor for me to be on the front lines with each and every one of you day in and day out. Because in the end, my friends, where we go one, we go all. Guys, if you found what you just watched informative and you enjoyed it, then please subscribe to the True Reporting family today. There are many ways to support this channel, like our Patreon link, our PayPal link, and our TRUreporting.us official website link in the description box below. Join the True Reporting family today and be a part of history, because where we go one, we go all.